Okay.
7C.
7C. Okay, so let's see what we have in 7C. Question 7C. Can somebody check that page? Can you see the bottom of the screenshot that I sent to you? I probably still have it opened. I don't know if it is the first book or the second book. Okay, it's not this one, definitely. It's probably the HL book. Okay, got it. Question 7C. So, Leo, are you referring to this one? Okay, good. So, we have find the equation of the cubic polynomial which cuts x-axis at 2, y-axis at -4, and passes through -1, 1, and 1 minus 1 and 1 minus 2. Now, I need you to first look at this example. Let's follow through with this example. Actually, because I can share my audio, now you will, okay, this particular one is still worked on. Okay, I think it's the first one that is already completed. Did you look at this example, Leo? No? Did I send this example to you guys? Okay, you probably forgot to look at it. So let's look at it together. Find the equation of the cubic function which crosses the x-axis at 2 and -3. So it crosses at 2 points. It's meant to be a cubic function, but crosses at 2 points. That's what we know. So because it crosses at 2 points, you have this -2. Can you see my cursor, Leo? So you have this -2 because of 2. You have this +3 because of -3. You know why the sign changes, right? Talk to me. Do you know why the sign changes?
Do
you know why the sign changes?
Your page is not changing to the board.
No, I'm not on the board. I'm on the textbook. I'm showing you the textbook. Oh. Can you see my? Okay. Leo, you need to talk to me. Can you see my cursor?
No.
Guys, can you see my cursor on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's and moving on the screen. What's going on?
It's not moving.
Not moving?
It's pointing at a blank place.
Okay, can you see the book or the board?
I see the book.
The book. How about now? Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't use the pen. All right, so I'm asking, now because it crosses our 2 point, we are sure of 2 of the factors, okay? Because it crosses our 2 point, we know that. We are sure of 2 of these factors. So x -2 and x -3. So I'm asking you, it crosses at 2, we have x -2. It crosses at -3, we have x + 3. Do you know why there is a change in sign? Leo, do you know why?
Yes.
Please, you need to answer quickly. Now, it cuts y-axis at -48, which means when x is 0, y is -48. Now, because we do not know the third one, we know it's going to be a linear factor. It's a cubic function, which means there are a maximum of 3. There will be 3 factors. It's possible the 3 are the same. When the 3 are the same, you have all cube. It's possible you have 2 that are the same. So the 2 that are the same will be all squared, and the third one is different, right? And it's possible that all 3 are not the same. So we're going to assume that they are not all the same. It's possible this last one is exactly this one. It's possible it is exactly this one. It's possible it is different. So to be on the safer side, you assume it is different. That's why you need to put a linear factor, ax plus b. And a cannot be 0 because if a is 0, this is going to be a number. Then it becomes a quadratic. Does that make sense? That's why there's need for this condition. So when x is 0, y is 48. When x is 0, you get b to be 8. With this condition, you get b to be 8. So when b is 8, now everything becomes x minus 2, x plus 3, ax plus 8. But you still need to figure out what a is. All right? Okay, so when x is equal to 1, y is passes through this, means when x is 1, y is negative 40. So when you substitute when x is 1, y is negative 40 in everything, you get a to be equal to 2. You will notice that there's no a here at the general format, because if we need a number factorized, the number could come from this further factor. That's why eventually you see that 2 came out. If you put some variable here, you don't have enough information to get them. So let's assume I put here some p. When I substitute here, I'm going to end up having pb equals 8. Here, I'm going to end up having pa equals maybe 1. Then that becomes a problem. So that's why nothing is put here. Ax plus b is used. If there is need for a number, remember any number that comes out, I'm showing you the previous page. This number which is out, this minus 4 which is out, could have been in this bracket and becomes negative 12 plus 4. Does that make sense, everybody? Hello, talk to me, guys. This minus 4 here could have been back inside this bracket. Okay, so it's just a way of, working things faster. And now that we have our A, we have our B, we could write everything in a better form. Is this example clear? Okay, so let's apply the same thing here. We know that it cuts at 2. That's all we know. So when you say it cuts at 2, you have x minus 2, one bracket. We don't know where else it cuts. So that is going to be 2 different linear equations, ax plus b and maybe mx plus n. Okay? So let's see. See, if 2 zeros are known, look at that. If 2 zeros are unknown, you see, you have this already. Use this factor ax plus, I think, yeah, it's better we use this. 2 zeros are unknown. You see, you only have 1 0. So rather than using ax plus b, mx plus n, well, of course, when you expand that, you have a quadratic. So at that quadratic will give us a, b, m, n, 4 variables. So you have an int here already, restricted to 3 variables, a, b, c. Am I making sense? This is an int for you. So if you have 3 variables, it's better than having 4 variables. It's possible at the end that this is factorizable, but this is an easier way to go about it. Okay? All right, so let's write that now and see. So correction from last class. Question will be x, it cuts at 2, so y, the equation will be in the form, just a minute, we have x minus 2, right? Okay, the zeros are that, so let's see. So since 1 0 is x is equal to 2, okay, since 1 0, 0 means roots or solution. Okay, so I just go with root. Since 1 0 or root is x is equal to 2, right? It means that x minus 2 is a factor. You don't have to write all this long stuff, just for the explanation. So we can write y is equal to x minus 2. Then you'll be given int to have ax squared, because the other will be quadratic. So we don't know if this quadratic is factorizable or not. We don't know that, and we shouldn't care right now. If it is factorizable, then it ends up becoming 2 other factors, maybe px plus q and mx plus n. Okay? Now here you will need to figure out 4 variables, but here you only need to figure out 3 variables. Now, why is this important? Look at the question. Again, the question has given you 3 other information. Can you see that? You are given the y-axis, it's called the y-axis, so that's 1 point. You are given 2 other points that it passes through. So 3 different information. So those 3 information will be used to figure out the 3 unknowns. Does that make sense? But if you had more than 3 information, then maybe you could write it separately like this. Okay, but we do not have more than 3 information, so we can only deal with, 3 variables. Remember, in equation, we have done system of linear equation. If you have 3 equations, 3 variables, then it makes more sense than having three variables and having more than one more variable than equation. What kind of equation is that? Does anybody remember? Remember the specified thing we talked about? Hello, why is class so quiet? Okay, so it cuts y-axis at 4. What kind of equation is that? You have more variables than equation. What do we call it?
Overspecified.
Say that again.
Overspecified.
Are you sure it's overspecified? That's more equation
Not?
variable. This is more variable than equation. Okay?
Mm.
Do you get my?
Underspecified. Underspecified.
I hope I didn't mix that up for him. Okay, so it cuts y at 4. So it cuts y at 4. What does that mean? If it cuts y at 4, okay, y-axis at 4, it implies it passes through. You don't need to write all this. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4. So that's a known point. So all you have to do is from 0, 4, you can just take your time to explain. Nothing stops you from explaining. So what does that give you? It gives you x is equal to 0, y is equal to 4. So this is 4 equals 0 minus 2. This is 0x squared, 0x plus c. Can you see that? So that gives 4. This is negative 2 and c. So that's negative 2c. And from here, c is equal to negative. Yes?
It should be negative 4.
You sure? Oh yeah, sorry. So negative 4. Thank you. Please look at what I'm writing in case I have written something wrong. So that would be 2 then, right? So c is equal to 2. We know that. So what else do we know? It passes through 2 other points. 1 minus 1. So I'm just going to write this. It's not necessary. So what I have right now is y equals x minus 2, ax squared plus bx plus 2. That's the situation now. Okay, we don't need it, but I just want to put it here so I have an idea. Okay, this is where I am. I have now 2 more variables to solve. So using 1 minus 1, okay, it passes through 1 minus 1. Or in fact, actually, we can actually say which implies this, so we know that. So passing through 1 minus 1. So I now use this, okay? 1 minus 1 will be, when x is 1, y is minus 1. So I have minus 1, I have 1 minus 2, I have a1 squared, b1, 2. So this implies minus 1, negative 1 also. I have ab plus 2. Okay, so I can divide by negative 1. Can you see that? So 1 is equal to a plus b plus 2. And when this comes here, it means a plus b is equal to what?
Negative 1.
Okay, a plus b is negative 1. Was that Miss K? Is that Karen?
No, I think. Yeah, Crystal.
That was
C,
Crystal? Okay. It's Crystal C? Okay.
C.
Okay. Miss Quiet. Miss Quiet, Crystal. Okay. Can you see this, everybody? So passing through, what's the other point passes through, please? I don't want to open too many windows.
-1 and -21.
Okay. So now we have -21 equals, x is now -1. So you have -1 -2. Then you have a times -1 squared. So I can use a square bracket here. B -1, then you have 2. So remember, we are still using this because we've been able to reduce what we have after getting C, right? So this implies -21 equals -3. This is going to be plus A. This is going to be minus B. Then you have plus 2. So I can divide through by -3. So which means 7 equals A minus B plus 2. And when -2 comes here, I get a 5. So A minus B is equal to 5. And that's the equation 2. So if I bring equation 1 right away, I can add the two equations. If I bring equation 1 right away, then I can add and I get 2A equals 4, which means A equals 2. Is that understood? Am I right so far? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I can make mistakes too.
Yep, that's right.
I'm still right? Am I still right, Mr. Chang?
Yep.
Okay, so I can put A is equal to 2 into equation 1. Equation 1 is A plus B equals -1. So I get B equals -1 minus A. What am I writing? I'm just going to substitute here before I write nonsense. So that's -3. So now we have everything we need, A, B, C, right? So let's see, is that factorizable? 2x squared minus 3x, what is C? Plus 2. Are there factors of 4 that gives -3? 1 and 4. And how can 1 and 4 give -3? That's not possible. Because if you have 1 and 4, to get -3, that will be -4 and plus 1. And when you multiply back, you get -4, whereas the product here is +4.
The way I checked was I just did -3 squared minus 4 times 4, or -4 times 4.
So -3 squared is 9, minus 4AC will be -16. So can you see it's really not factorizable? You can do that too. That's actually the first thing you should do. You look at the B squared minus 4AC. Yeah, thank you. So because we know it's not factorizable, so we just conclude. Okay, so which leaves us with the equation is, therefore the equation is y equals x minus 2, and the other bracket will be, I don't have enough space, sorry. Let's try to write. So therefore, let's see, maybe I use here. Therefore, the equation is y equals x minus 2. Yes, what do I have in the other one? 2x squared. B is -3 minus 3x plus 2. So that's the cubic equation. Leo, understood? Mr. Leo, you asked for the question.
Yes.
Okay, it is very important that you respond fast, sir. All right, so any other question? Anybody else? Was 7C the only one I gave you guys? And that's question 7?
Yeah, that was the only one you gave us.
Okay. So questions, I didn't give you 6 because you need to be able to use factorization of polynomial. So don't worry about that. Of course, those are some of the little things we're going to do. So you are able to do questions in 3, right? Talk to me, class. Question 3, no problem?
Yes.
Okay. So please, if questions are not asked, I'm going to assume that there's no problem. So if you have problems, please speak up. Okay, thank you, Leo, for speaking up on that. So how about, did I give you anything on question 8?
No, 7C was the last question.
Oh, okay, so now this is what we're going to do. I want us to practice this, and because next time I want us to look at cubic. The homework I'll give you is an investigation of Q and quartic. That's a degree 4. So that's the homework I'm going to give is an investigation on that. So we just come to class and practice. I want us to do polynomials, how to do factorization of complex polynomials and some other stuff in functions. Please, I really want us to move faster on this function so that when we come back to school, we just start topic number 3, which is trig, and we need time on that. Trig is very huge. Trig is like a whole term. So if you can do that, all things being equal, if we indeed come back at the beginning of May, between 2 months, if you can rush things, sensible rush, then we should be okay completing trig by the end of this year. And we need to look at the Saturday thing we talked about earlier, but it's going to be on Zoom. So it's easier because we're going to be home. Do you understand? So that we can walk through the, please don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to like just give you, work all the time, okay? Don't get me wrong. The idea is this. We can either go in 2 paces. Hello, do I have everyone's attention? The first pace is, I don't wait for anybody who needs help. And I just assume, oh, because Krista K understands, I move on. Oh, because Leo understands, I move on. Then that's going to be difficult. So when I give you group work, if Krista C understands and Clarissa does not, then Clarissa feels lost in the group, and that may kill our confidence, and I don't want that. Okay? At the same time, I don't want anyone that wants to move faster being slowed down. Okay? That is why I want us to have those extra classes so that we can, during those classes, use the opportunity of time wasting and catch up with it. The only way we can actually survive the entire IB syllabus in Form 6 is if we start calculus at the beginning of Form 6.
Wait, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
How about like while you explain like work to like people that might not understand it, you give everyone else like some extra work that maybe they could practice, so it's not like we're all just like waiting for like one solution, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that too. But it is more complicated than that in the sense that when I'm talking in class right now and I'm explaining something, if I want to do it that way, when I look at Brandon and it gives me yes, I just move on. Then later I come back to maybe Lillian and say, okay, you look like you don't understand this. Can I explain this to you while you're working? But the thing is, at that point, you're already lost. And if I explain 10 different things, and the way I like to do things is when I explain one thing, I want you to connect with it with a practice immediately. I explain something else, I want you to practice it immediately. I don't want to explain 10 things. So somebody who is okay with the 10 continue with their work, and somebody who is not okay with it is now struggling with 10, and you get discouraged. If I had rushed it, don't be surprised that we probably wouldn't have been 11 in this class today. 4 people will have probably be gone, or 5, and say, okay, I can't cope with that class anymore. Do you understand my point? But some of us are building our confidence, even though it's an HL. But it doesn't mean you're going to do HL in your exam. Some people will probably settle for SL later. But at least if you're learning with HL, it's an advantage for you. Do you get my point now? So you are right about that, which is why I always ask people, if anybody has questions. For example, when Leo asks this question now, I could actually assign that task that I'm about to assign now to everybody to continue while I explain to Leo. Then we can use that technique. Then Leo could take his time and do his own work later. But doing that work, I also wanted people to learn from those corrections. That's why I wanted everybody to also pay attention to it. Because what if you have done it in another way? Am I making sense, everybody? So the best thing would be to have some extra time to catch up on the weekend. It could just be the normal 2 hours that we always do. Just find some time that is convenient on Saturday or Sunday. Then we make sure it is thorough lesson that we have at that time. And Zoom is there, so we can continue to use it. We don't need to look for venue anymore. Is that okay, people? So please, when the school starts, I want us to implement the Saturday stuff. And even if the school does not, please, I want us to also look into it, because this 1 hour, 3 times in a week is not really doing anything for us. Trust me, okay? I really want us to have more time. Okay, so that's that. So I want to assign the following. Today is not going to be so much work. So from that question, questions 5, how many did I ask you to do in question 5? Did I give you question 5?
Question 5, wait, no.
I didn't give question 5.
You
Please
said
remind
it,
me
so
of
you
it.
didn't assign it.
I only assigned 3. Did I assign something in 3?
Yeah, you assigned.
C, F, G, H for
Okay.
3.
Okay, so we're not going to waste time on that. So let's go to 5. I want you to do 5A and D. Then I want you to do 7A and B. Then I want you to do 8. Okay? 5A, D, 7A, B, because you have done C in your homework. Then I want you to do 8. So as you do them one after the other, send to me on WeChat. Okay? If we are not able to complete them in the class, we will continue. You'll send it to me before next lesson, but we won't go back to this again. Okay? I believe we still have the questions. All right. So I'm going to write it on the board again, what you need to do. Okay, I don't need to go to the next board, so we can write it somewhere in the corner. Can we see that?
Yep.
So in the next 6 minutes, we'll end the class. Send in whatever you have done by then. So I'm just going to be here, quiet, and watch you do your thing. I'll share the textbook again. I believe we all have the solution written down. Okay, I'll just share 7 and 8. Okay. Okay, I'm receiving already. Hopefully that's your class.
Okay, go back to the questions really quickly.
This one?
No, like the question list.
The question?
Yeah, like from the board.
Oh, the solution on the board or the question to do?
The questions to do.
Can you see it on the right hand corner? Got it? Okay. Makita and Krista, that's your work. Checking now. Mr. Cheng, can I change it to the book?
Yep.
Makita, good. You have all the roots, so you only need to know what A is. Very good, wonderful. A is checked, D. Cut this. It touches, doesn't cut, good. It touches. So that means that's a square. Wonderful. It cuts at 4, very good. Very amazing. Well done. Yep. So now kids have checked Krista K. Checking now. Okay, checking. If you have correction, I'll let you know.
Blessed is the spot, and the house, and the place, and the city, and the heart, and the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified, glorified, glorified. Blessed is the spot,
Krista K.
Yes.
I'm a bit confused here. You have 5AD. Did you do 5 already, or you started from 7?
I did 7AB yesterday.
Okay, can you try to put a number so I know? Because I was just wondering what is this solution. If you start from 7, you should put the number. I just say B. I don't know because I don't know when your textbook, your notebook started. You understand my point?
Yes.
Please always specify the number. Okay, so I'll check that.
And the mountain, and the refuge, and the cave, and the valley, and the land, and the sea, and the island, and the meadow, where mention of God hath been made, and his praise glorified, glorified.
One observation, Krista. you have three brackets, y equals x minus r of x plus 3a, x plus b. They should be on the same line. Okay?
Okay.
Do I have attention? 7a.
Yeah.
You don't write three brackets and write one on one line and the other bracket on another line. If there is no space, you start from the second line.
Okay.
Talk to me, Krista, please.
Yes.
Can you speak louder?
Yes.
Oh my God. Where is she? Speak louder.
I said.
Have you eaten today? You had breakfast? Are you hungry already? All right, take note of what I said.
Good.
Okay, take note of what I said. Thank you. Or maybe because I turned my volume down. All right, probably my fault. Turum, 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 turum. Turum, turum.
And his praise glorified, glorified, glorified. And his praise glorified, glorified,
When you started your solution, Krista, look at where you started with pencil.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Did you see what I'm talking about now? Remember the third bracket, ax plus b is on another line. And should always be together, okay? But you don't have to cancel it, just have that in mind. And Krista, look at 7b, the last line. You wrote y equals this or, that's not or. You have to simplify to the last line. So that's not or. So it should be which implies that y equals when you bring out the minus 2. Okay? So not or. Very good. Nakita, your 7a has been checked also. Mr. Cheng, you got A and you stopped there. Am I supposed to complete it for you, sir? For number 5B. Understood what I said, sir? Ethan, did you understand what I said?
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Can you say that again?
You got A for 5B and you stopped there. If you look at what you sent to me. For your 5B, you got your A and you only stopped there.
Wait, did I not give
Is that, are you supposed to even do 5B?
I didn't write the I cropped it out, sorry, my bad.
Okay, and I'm not sure that is actually right. You want to check that again?
Okay.
unless I overlook some mistake from Nakita, and I'm sure I checked. So I'm gonna check that again, just in case I can't trust Nakita anymore, just in case. Just kidding. So it's like, oh my God, how dare you say that? I thought you trust me. I thought we were friends. Of course we're friends. I trust you. All right. Mr. Cheng, I think the problem is on your part. So you really want to check your work very well. Rather than say 3x plus 2, what you could have said is x minus something, not 3x plus 2.
Okay.
Although if 3x plus 2 is a factor, should be right, because with that x is equal to minus 2 over 3. So I'm wondering why she's getting minus 3 and you're getting minus 1 over 3. That should have been right. It's a linear factor, right? Oh. Okay, hold on, Mr. Chang. I think I need to check something. Okay. So don't correct 5D yet. Let me see what others did also. Brandy, you want to check your work again. You got A equals 1. The question never asked you for A equals 1. The question never asked you for A. So please read the instruction and answer to the letter what exactly you were asked to find. Brandy, understood what I said?
Yes.
All right. And instead of writing x minus x plus 2 over 3, x plus 2 over 3, just put square. You don't have to write like that. Lillian, I haven't received any work.
Wait, no, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, please.
I plotted my solution on Desmos, and it touches the x-axis at -2 over 3. It cuts the x-axis at 4, and it also crosses through 1 and 25.
Okay, so what is your question, please? What's your question, please? What's your question, please?
No, I'm saying, like, for the one you said was kind of confusing. Like with the solution, I plotted it like 5B. I plotted it on Desmos, and it's correct.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on that I was looking for something to refer Nakita to. Nakita?
Yeah.
This board, when it touches at 2 over 3, this is the factor used. Get my point? So don't write x minus 2 over 3. Because what it means is that x minus 2 over 3, we're going to end in 2 minutes, please. I think I already took some extra time. If it touches at 2 over 3, it means x equals 2 over 3, right? Which means 3x is equal to 2, which means 3x minus 2 was equated to 0. So this 3x minus 2 was one of the brackets. So this is what she used. Everybody understood this? Everybody, do you understand this, please?
Yeah.
It touches at a fraction expressed in this form, please. That's why you were getting some 3, -3, somebody else was getting minus 1 over 3. Everybody, do you understand that? Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm going to end the meeting. Please keep sending in your work, and later in the afternoon, if anybody needs correction, please let me know. I'm happy to either send you the best solution received as correction or invite you to a Zoom session so that we can discuss it later. Okay? Please feel free to talk to me if you have any challenges in this subject. Also, you need to know that you are free to ask for a few minutes, you know, oh, Mr. Daniel, can we meet on Zoom and talk about some solution together? I'm not sure about this, please, you can do that, all right? Just give me, you know, some information ahead. Can I talk to you tomorrow? What time are you less busy? If you're available 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I can do that if I'm available. So there's nothing stops you from arranging such. And it doesn't have to be on the current topic we are doing. It could be that you are doing some practice on your own for something else entirely, and something is not right, and you think I might be of help. Please feel free to talk to me about that. Then I can say, oh, why don't we meet on Sunday and talk about it over Zoom lunch? Of course, it's like just going on some lunch with somebody, but this time around, virtual lunch. So you can eat your chicken while I eat whatever I eat, and we can talk about math on Zoom, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time that is available. So feel free, please, because we don't want a situation whereby you compound all the problem, you compound them, you compile them, and you take it to Form 6 or calculus class, and it becomes so difficult for you. One of the reasons we are spending so much time right now is because trig and calculus really, really depend on these two numbers and functions we're doing right now. So we need to get them right, okay? And after this, I believe we can move faster. The others is just, oh, this is what this theorem says, we apply it. Oh, this is what it says, we apply it. How to divide, how to factorize, these are the things you have learned in the past. And that's why numbers and functions are very, very important. They are key to everything we'll be doing later. Okay? All right, so I'll see you on Monday, same time scheduled. Wednesday, we agreed it's going to be 11 to 12-ish, right? Because of the clash. So I'm just going to leave it at that. If anything comes up from any other subject teacher, please let me know so we can, you know, adjust, all right? And I will be introducing that Saturday class very, very soon. Please, it's very important we go faster than we're doing right now, okay? Thank you, guys. Be good. Stay out of trouble if you can. Of course, stay out of trouble. Okay, how do we end this?